Hello, 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 hello. Hey everybody, it's me, Ben Bailey, live from Vic's Bar. I really am live from Vic's Bar this time. And recent times. Live. Really, it's really happening right now. What's up, everybody? I see on there. I see people's on there. Familiar names like Ski and Kelf and Patricia Bradshaw and Chooch. Chooch was mentioned, but yep, there's Chooch. And I always get to your name and go, how do you say it again? Kira, Con, Spinala, Laura Miskin. Who else? Picris. There's Don Geller. Yo! What is up, everybody? How's it going? It's the big news show with me, Ben Bailey. Episode number 24. It is 4 and 20 episodes as of today. I say 4 and 20. And rather than waste any time, let's get right into it. And blow it up with a cash cab drive-by. That means it's time for you to drink your drink. Be it beer, be it water, be it whiskey, be it wine. You enjoy a bit of yours and I'll enjoy a bit of mine, eh? Turns out my beverage of choice at the moment, coffee. Coffee, yes, a delicious coffee beverage. Espresso, really, and in a giant mug. That's how I drink the coffee. Cheers to you folks for sticking around and hanging around. Started a bit late, folks. What is up, everybody? I'm just reading. There's Kevin. I see Kevin. What's up, Tyler? How has your week been? It's been okay. It's been all right. Not any real exciting adventures. I was out there. I ventured out into the world today. I went to the airport to pick some peoples up. Like you do from time to time. You pick up a friend. And, more and more, I guess I'm just getting old, but more and more it's like, all right, I'm going out into the world. I must prepare and be smart and be safe. And it makes sense because there's a lot of dum-dums out there. I don't know if you guys have noticed. There's a lot of dummies out there in the world, and they are at large, you might say. What's up, Raphael? Multiverse Media Space. Ooh. Nice to see you since the start of you streaming 2019, I think. When did you start streaming again? Multiverse, I've been kind of streaming on and off the whole time. Well, not for a while. We were just producing a show and then putting it out, but we never really stopped. We just sort of have switched it up, and now it's like this. It's a podcast, video podcast. Really, you might call it like a video podcast, where I sit here at the bar, which I built with my own two hands, and I talk to you folks. So thanks for watching. Sorry you missed out on so much. It's all there on the tube of Utes for you to check it out, man. What's up, Paige? How are you doing, Paige Goldman? Yeah, I went to the airport, and I'm on the way there, and I'm like, here's the way I drive at this point. I stay out of the pack. I'll go fast. It's not like I drive slowly. Sometimes I'll drive even faster, or, what's up, Desi? How goes, everybody? Miniature Studios in his ass. It's not like I'm like driving slowly or, just being a total wuss out on the road, but like people drive in packs. There's always a cluster. And then once in a while there's, and if you could like stay in between the clusters, which just makes so much sense to me. Like what? I don't understand why people drive right next to each other. It's like the dumbest thing you could possibly do is go at high speeds right next to each other. Like, why? So here's what I propose. And I've had this in my head for a long time, but I'm proposing a solution to a very high percentage of all traffic and accidents. A huge percentage of those will go away if we just make one rule and enforce it strictly. And it'd be a really weird adjustment at first because nobody's used to it, but get rid of a lot of traffic. You want to get rid of a lot of the accidents that happen, make a rule that cars have to stay away from other cars. Like, it's really that simple, I think. Like, if you're not allowed to go near other cars, you're not going to run into them, and they're not going to bunch up and cause all kinds of traffic. So that's my thought. That's my fix. My fix for traffic and car accidents. Stay away from other cars, just like altogether. There's no reason for them to drive right on top of each other all the time. It's ridiculous. Like, if you were just walking in a group of people, say you had 6 or 8 people and you're walking together, and you all walk right next to each other, you guys are going to bump into each other every time someone stops or slows down. Thanks, Raphael. That's so very nice. You're going to put it on your bucket list to make it out at some point in my life to come see you live. Well, you better do it soon. I'm getting old, man. That's very nice, man. Thank you. I hope you can come out to a show at some point. I have not updated the video which displays the dates on the website. Again. I don't know how it happens. I think it's the summer. We just, like, all of a sudden we're like, I think is it? Oh shit! I got to do a show in 11 minutes. It wasn't quite that short notice. Some of you guys probably saw when the stream popped up there and was available, and you've been chatting away ever since. It's funny, it won't let me put the time in until I create the broadcast, and then I go into YouTube Studio. Then I can adjust the time. It took me a little bit to figure that out. Isn't it crazy, after all the time I've been doing some sort of live something or other, I'm still learning how to do it. Anyway, yeah. You want to get rid of traffic? You want to get rid of car accidents? Make and strictly enforce a rule where cars have to stay away from each other. Don't go near the other cars. If you're, like I was saying, if you're walking, group of 6 people, if you walk 6 inches apart, you guys are going to bump into each other constantly. If you walked 5 feet apart, you would never run into the other people. Ever. So anyway, that's what I propose. I'd love to hear your thoughts or read them at my leisure. No ski, I do not think about this show 24/7. There was a time during the pandemic that I did. No Truman Show for me. No, thank you. I actually like the Truman Show. It's interesting. I feel like they could have maybe done more with it, but I did like it. I did enjoy it. Yeah, people are idiots on the road. So I avoid the pack. So there's packs that are going fast and there's packs that are going slow. If you avoid the slower packs by staying in between them, you're still going to get overtaken by a fast pack at certain intervals, in my experience as a driver, and I have a lot of experience as a driver. So stay between the packs, and when the fast pack comes, don't do anything. Just let them go by. And here's another idea. Be aware of what you're doing when you're driving. Like, don't speed up when someone passes you absently. Like, it happens all the time. Somebody's in front of you, and you're annoyed because they're going so incredibly slowly. And you move over to go around them, and they speed up. People just seem to do it instinctually or instinctively, which I think are interchangeable words. But what a dumb thing to do. Like, why? It's not a race. If it was a race, you'd be losing terribly. You're going so slowly that I, Mr. Careful Guy, am passing you. So, yeah. Just let the fast pack pass. That's right, Chooch. And Ski says, I love John Pinette, which must be apropos of something. Nothing that I've said, surely, but something. Apropos of nothing, I say it is. Nothing. Yes, Kelf avoids the packs. What happens to one happens to all. Exactly. It's ridiculous. It's the silliest thing. Like, in 100 years, yes, R.I.P. John Panette. Super funny. Super funny. Done too soon. Like so many of my kind. Lost my... it's so hard to read and keep up with the feed. What's up, Rex? My favorite is when people pass you, then slow down in the miles and miles of no passing allowed ahead of you. Yeah. Another perfect example of people just being totally self-centered and inconsiderate. Like that's what you realize after a while. Like a lot of people out there, they really just sort of live as though the whole world is just this thing that was created for them to exist in. You know what I mean? Like, Patricia says that's a good fix. Thanks, Patricia. I thought about it a lot over lots of years. I used to be a limousine driver. I drove limos for a long time. Before that, I delivered pizzas. Before that, prescriptions. Before that, flowers, floral arrangements. Since I had a driver's license, I've been driving to make my living. So I've spent a lot of time on a lot of roads in a lot of different situations. A lot of highway driving, a lot of city driving. If the cars just had to stay away from each other, there'd be so much less traffic and so much less accidente, especially on the highway. In the cities, it's not really manageable. But honestly, between you and me, and I know about the cash cab considerations and implications for what I'm about to say, but I think at some point, not in the not-so-distant future, there's not going to be cars in the inner city, in the downtowns of the big cities anymore. Like, it's just not going to be a thing. Does that sound crazy? That sounds good to me. Imagine a city where everything else is still there, but there's just not all that noise and pollution. Like, how much better would New York be if it was like... And I love New York. I love New York. But imagine if it was quiet and it didn't smell like... And there wasn't a truck just like... You're like... Oh, New York City. Oh, God. I can't fucking breathe. I don't know, man. I mean, maybe I'm wrong about that, but people are dum-dums on the road. I was on the way to the airport. I was just about to turn into the airport, hit the off-ramp, and I look in my rear view, and the guy is so close. And I'm going 70, between 70 and 75 in a 65 mile an hour zone. So I'm appropriately breaking the law to the extent that the average driver does. I don't have a bucket list. I have another list. It rhymes with bucket. So a fuck it list. Was that Panette's bit? That's funny, man. Hey, where's Jason Robards? Is he going to be on the show this week? Are you watching, Jason? I'd love to have you back. New York City is so loud. Kevin's bacon bits. You are so right. At one point, like I had moments filming Cash Cab where I was like, I'm just going to have to park and go inside someplace just to get out of the noise for a little bit. And at one point we did that. We went to this hotel on like Broadway and 53rd or something, this older hotel, which was kind of cool. And it was like, it's been there forever. And just to think of the history that, all the things that must have occurred there over the years was cool. I remember that. And then we came outside and we were like, all right, I said, let's do something. Let's count. Let's see how many seconds we can count up to between horns, between the times when someone honked their horn. And the highest that we got was 6 seconds. We did it for about 20 minutes. I mean, once in a while it was a distant horn, like, but it was like, oh, there you go. 6 seconds. And so that wasn't even like during rush hour in Times Square, it's just crazy. And that's just the horns. But so I love the idea of that. Or at least electric cars, or like, I honestly think like there's going to be cars in cities. It's going to be like Johnny Cab from the original Total Recall, which is a better film. I mean, come on. Haven't actually seen the new one, but I decided that anyway. Having only seen one of them, I decided that it's the better of the two. Merely scoffing at the law. Yes, just a little. I know it's 65, but I'm going 74. Because my father once told me that I could safely go 9 miles to 11 miles an hour above the speed limit, given room for error of my speedometer and the policeman or policewoman, the police officer's radar gun, or something to that extent. There's like a few different items that have a margin of error, and you could reasonably argue that no, I thought I could have sworn that I was going just below the speed limit. I'm changing accents as I talk. Yes, that freaking electrician, Arnold. Yeah, I think that original Total Recall is a pretty good movie. I mean, it's not amazing. It was pretty good then. But for like an 80s, it'd be funny if somebody's like, it was made in the 90s, Ben. But it's still an 80s movie. I guess. I don't know. Maybe it'll be like that, Johnny Cab. You know, you take the train into the city. It's the only way to really get in. There's freight and there's passengers, but it's all trains underneath. Then you come up, and what's there? Quiet. Grass. Imagine that. Imagine a city, instead of all these streets, actually had like grass, and you got around other ways than driving on the, you know what I mean? Like, that's a very different place. A city that has grass instead of streets. It's ridiculous. It's impossible. I don't know how it would ever happen, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's not that impossible. The problem is you go, well, then you build up, like they've already done in a lot of parts, including in Manhattan. Grand Central Station was ground level, and the trains pulled into it right there for a long time, and then they very wisely built some incredibly valuable real estate around it, and everything comes in underneath. But can you do that to a whole city? I don't know. I guess. I don't know what's going to happen. Honestly, like, even pre-COVID, when we were shooting Cash Cab in 2019, driving around Manhattan, and I think I've mentioned this on the show before, the retail spaces were like more than half empty already, pre-COVID. And that's in New York City, right in Manhattan. So, like, I don't know who's going to take over those spaces. How do those become marketable spaces again? If they can't just sit there, something has to change. Maybe golf courses. What if Fifth Avenue was actually a golf course? 18 holes straight up to the park. I like to think big. I like to imagine the Ewok village on Endor. All treehouses and overhead walkways would make an awesome Airbnb. Yes, yeah, it sure sounds like it. What's up, Jeff Watkins? Sounds like one of those tree houses. I don't know if you guys have ever watched the Treehouse Masters show, but man, some of those things are amazing. That's like, by the end of it, I'm like, I want to live in a tree. Like, what? All right, I'm making the switch, folks, right here in front of you, so let's drive it by. It's a Cash Cab drive-by, folks. That means it's time for you to take a sip of your beverage, pop it open, and pour it in your face hole. Cheers to you for hanging out with me for this, the 24th, the 24th, fourscore. No. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me. Emma says hello from upstairs. She might be outside watering plants by now. I'm literally drinking Stella. First one popped my first Stella. Cheers, everybody. Now you can see me, so I will taste you again. Oh, Yes, those tree houses are fantastic. And the guy seems like such a nice guy. Well, here's what I want to do. I want to trick him. I want to get him to come and just build me a house on the ground. I just have to make him think he's working in a tree. Honestly, it made me like want to buy a piece of land somewhere within 100 miles of here that was just like forest and see if I could get that guy to come and build me an amazing treehouse getaway. Like, how cool would that be? But so, okay, so then now here's the thing. Lots of love for Emma. I hope she is reading, is following along. It's been so hot lately that she's not able to get out and work during the day because it's like 100, literally 100. Well, it feels like 100. I have a bit about that. I'm not going to do it now because this is not a stand-up show. This is a chat hang at the bar. But yeah, so it's been so hot that Emma is waiting until it's like cooled down, which like it's 10 o'clock before it's even down into the 70s. If it even gets there, like I think it's still 85 degrees out there right now. So yeah, she's like sneaking off and taking care of her many, many, many plants that she has planted and grown from seeds, a lot of them. Excuse me. She shows them to me over and over and over, and I appreciate them every time. But she says the name, then later she'll like say the name of one of them and say, "Did you notice these?" You know, and I'm always like, I don't remember what the names of the plants are. I'm sorry, but she knows them. She is into it, and she's kind of kicking ass at it. Honestly, folks, we reclaimed this whole bed along by the pool that was just like thistles, overgrown thistles are the worst. I hate those fucking things. But we seem to have conquered them, knock on wood, at least in that small area. Hello, Marta. Oh, are you defending me, Marta? Is everyone saying, yeah, just do a show with Emma. We want Emma. It's almost like we love Emma more than Ben. I see. Yeah, Ski. Yeah, I know. I know you dudes out there in love with my lady. I know. You watch yourselves. Thanks, Marta. My favorite flower is gardenia. Very nice. Thistle is fucking nasty. It really is, Chooch. Then you're like, I'll rip this thing out. And you're like, ow, you little motherfucker. Right through, like through a leather glove, they'll get you. Brutal. Hate those things. Hate them. And we seem to have eradicated them from that bed, so booyah. Eradicator. Who knows what that's from? That's not a movie. Eradicator. Marta, I live you too. Oh, you corrected it so quick. Ski quit creeping. Thank you, Chooch. It's cool. I know you guys mean well and you appreciate. Emma, there's a thistle in your hedgerow. That's from something as well, isn't it? Eradicator is from a show, and that show is called The Kids in the Hall. And if you guys haven't checked it out yet, the Amazon Prime has a new season of The Kids in the Hall, which is hilarious. It's always a very funny show, and I had forgotten how much I enjoyed the theme song. You guys should check it out just to remember that. But yeah, The Kids in the Hall has a new season on Amazon Prime, and it's fucking funny. Those guys are fucking funny. Love them. And before I forget, let's go to the facts. We're gonna need yeah, it's Stairway to Heaven. Yep, good call. Good call, Bacon Bits. Is it a thistle? Is it a thistle in your hedgerow? And did you know? What's up, Space O? How you doing, man? And did you know your stairway lies on the whispering wind? I, for one, didn't know that. The first time Robert asked me that, I did not know. No, I said, no, Rob, didn't know that. If you'd have said, Ben, do you know where lies your stairway? I would have said, no, I don't. Is it on the whispering wind? Is it? No. No faxes, please, no faxes. It's a bustle. Chooch says it's a bustle in your hedgerow. Technically. There's no technical aspect of that. SCTV is very funny as well, Rex, but if you haven't checked out Kids in the Hall, you should, especially the new ones. Is there a bustle in your hedgerow? And did you know Canadian milk thistles are an invasive type? Got to get all the roots out. Yeah, but you can't get all, you have to dig them up. Because if you pull them, you don't get all the roots. And there's a little bit left, and it'll make like 10 more, that little fucker. Being ironic, not correct. I didn't see what that's referring to. Gun. This is fun, you guys. Honestly, I was dreading it, but it's fun. I'm having fun. I'm kidding. The number 24. Here is, I present to you now 24 facts about the number 24. Notice, I took out any descriptive terms implying that this was interesting or fun. They're just facts. And I bet you, I haven't looked yet. We're going to experience them together. I bet you that some of them are not facts. Cheers, people. Fuck it, let's do another one. It's a cash cab drive-by. Time for you to drink your drink. Sit and ponder what you think about the dishes in your sink. Should you wash them? Yeah, you should, if it's your turn. If it's not your turn, you let those sit there. Cheers, everybody. Beer, water, whiskey, wine. Drink some of yours. And I'll drink some of mine. Time for you to drink your drink. $10 from Red. Boom! Boom! Red loves the facts segment. Yes, Red! Yes! Okay, here we go. 24 facts about the number 24. This from the Fact site. It could be an ironic name, for all I know. Every time someone says knock on wood, it makes me think of the song. $5 from Kira. Thank you. Thank you so much, man. You guys, you going to have a contest to give me big tips now? It makes me think of the song Impression That I Get. Every time someone says knock on wood. Really, Raphael. I thought you were going to say it makes me think of the song Knock on Wood. Yes, the the impression that I get. Yeah, the impression that I get. I vaguely know that song. And there's Knock on Wood that must be in there somewhere. Elizabeth Fahey is throwing up and giving the thumbs up. Okay, first fact about the number 24 is coming from Jeff Watkins. There's 24 hours in a day, so let's get to this. The number 24, a figure that to the untrained eye seems like nothing more than a simple 2 digits. But this little numerical value is anything but simple. Wow, look at this. Like I said, not all facts. This figure appears everywhere, including in many religions, and is the choice for many of the world's greatest. And it doesn't say anything more than that. Ooh, a little fox. There's a fox laughing. I love it. Here we're going to look at 24 facts about the number 24. Okay, first and foremost, Emma's favorite part. This is for you, babe, when you're listening tomorrow in the kitchen or wherever you might be. 24 is the atomic number for the chemical chromium, which is a hard silvery gray metal. You could just say it's a metal. Metals are hard and silvery and gray, I think. I think you better knock, knock, knock on wood. Con. I think you better. I think you better. Chromium. So, by the way, there's a guy that used to work on Cash Cab, and I was in the process of buying a house. He's like, "Did you get it checked for everything?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I think so." He's like, "Lead paint?" I'm like, "Yep." He's like, "Radon?" I'm like, "Yep." He's like, listing, did you get the water tested? Did you, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm like, I'm like, yep, everything. At the end, he goes, chromium deposits? I'm like, what? Fuck. What do you mean? What do you mean No, that's not a fucking thing, is it? Anyway, no chromium was ever detected on the property. 4 and 20 was the name of a 20th century race-winning American racehorse. 4 and 20. Born in 1958, the horse had a long career till he retired in 1971. That doesn't seem very long to me. I've been at it twice as long already, and I'm getting to be a bit of an old horse. So I was in the world for 2 years while 4 and 20 was having a thriving career as a racehorse. 4 and 20. 24 was a great TV series. I agree, Con, having never watched it. For more than 1 minute, I watched like 5 minutes of one. Not because I didn't like it. It was just a little heavy, dramatic. It was more than I needed at that time. But I'm a fan of Kiefer Sutherland. I like him. I think he does a good job, like his dad. They're both good in things. 24 is the number of carats, not the vegetable, in 100% pure gold. 24 carats. 24 karat gold. Of course, we've all heard that before. What is a carat, though, as far as gold is concerned? Patricia Bradshaw, thank you very much for $3. Ski, yes, I am still playing hockey. I played Tuesday night. I play Tuesday nights. Last week was one of those bummer weeks where we showed up and we realized we only had one goalie. Because my friend, Matt, the goalie, selfishly went on a family vacation. So we didn't have a goalie. But we ended up having a good time anyway. We had a little tiny net, and we put that inside the big net. And then you had to hit a post or the crossbar, and that was a goal. I think we scored more on the actual goalie collectively than we did on the net, because we didn't add the little net until later. But it was still fun. Hockey is just, it's my favorite, possibly my very favorite thing that I do at this point in my life. At this point in my life. I think there's a song about everything, anything you could ever say at this point. Someone wrote a song that had pretty much those exact words into it. In it, not into it. Okay, here we go. Back to the list. Stay focused. We got 24 of these things to get through. And we just started. Carat, I believe, is the spelling, right? No, it's according to this, it's C-A-R-A-T. Special ed, thanks for correcting me. It's C-A-R-A-T. Yeah, there you go, special ed. No, we didn't play half court. We played full ice. We just had to hit the posts to score. I rang the bell. I hit the crossbar when it was our turn. And then you switch sides, so, it's not always one team shooting on the empty net. But I bonged the crossbar. Boom. All I had to do was easy. All I had to do was try to put it in the net, and I hit the damn crossbar like I always do. Homer's Iliad and Odyssey are divided into 24 sections, as there are 24 letters in the Greek alphabet. Okay, so there's sort of two facts rolled into one. Thanks, fact site. The average person takes 12 seconds. All right, this is interesting and probably bullshit. The average person takes 12 seconds to count to 24. Thank you. Ski, are you cheering me on for my hockey achievement of hitting the crossbar? If I hadn't been sipping my beverage, I would have gotten the entry sooner. All right, special ed. Well done. You did great, man. This is good fun, folks. I'm glad we decided to do this. It would have been an honor to play goalie if I actually could still. You were a hockey goalie, Chooch. I remember you saying that, right? You could still do it, man. It's never too late. Unless you're like 90 and then don't listen to me. Or 80 or 75 or fuck, how old are you? Keep your stick on the ice. That is good advice. $5 from Laura Miskin. Where's my... Kevin says, where's my effing truck? Where the fuck's my truck? Oh, we haven't done a movie quote yet. There's one. You already know it. Where the fuck's my truck? But I'm going to do it anyway, because I made the graphics, folks. I might as well use them. Where the fuck's my truck? You men are exactly the kind of go-getters I want working on my EM50 project up in Italy. I like to do them. I like to deliver them as well, you know. The standard for film projection, some of you might already know where I'm headed with this, in the cinema is 24 frames per second. And that is true. And if you guys watch my short film, Meet Me at Ray's, it's in 24p. It's in 24 frames per second. Shot on a video camera, the Panasonic DVX 100. We used that one in specifically because it would shoot at 24 frames per second. And I think you guys will be able to tell when you go watch it now. And really, you should post some good reviews of that. Watch it and like it and share it and stuff, because it's fucking funny, I think. It's like one of my bits, though. It's kind of like, I don't totally get it, but this is funny. Yep. Yeah, I heard the TV quote. I thought. John Larroquette, Stripes, yes. And what's his name? What's the character's name? Thanks, Chooch. I appreciate that. We put a lot into it. Mostly me. Yes. Judah Friedlander as well. AKA the world champion. I love that you guys like Meet Me at Ray's. I'm so flattered. So proud of it. Can you believe the ending? The ending to me is like, oh my God, did that really happen? Bohem we shot on DSLRs, Canons. Not the better ones that I have now, but yeah, some pretty good Canons. I think EOS Rebel? EOS, not a Rebel. I can't remember what they are. I still have them. They're good cameras. Yeah, the captain. Captain Stillman. Martin nailed it. Boom! Did you know coffee spelled backward is EFOC? Not until just now. Have that removed. Oh, I wish I was a loofah. He's hilarious in that movie. He's such a scumbag. That's what he played. That's what he played so well. I love that guy. I think he's underrated actor. Very funny, talented guy. Larroquette. And a great name. That's a great name. When I nearly choked Judah. Yeah. He was eating the whole time and lying to me. And I'm starving. Oh, made out of meat. Nice. Not my creation, that one. But people love that. I had a guy come up and talk to me about it the other day. Somewhere where I was. Perhaps in the District of Columbia. Perhaps it was in the District of Columbia. 24 frames per second for film. The average person takes 12 seconds to count to 24. I mean, who did the study on that? A portion of cantaloupe. Okay, now we're really reaching for facts here. A portion of cantaloupe, about 1/8 of the melon, contains 24 calories. What? Cantaloupes vary greatly in size. I mean, come on. That is really reaching. James Dean, Lee Harvey Oswald, and Chandra Levy all died at the early age of 24. How did you group those people together? That is a strange grouping of folks to choose for your died. A million people. It's party time, Italian style. Boys, I love it. The Stripes quotes. I'm going to play it for you guys. The Stripes quotes are flying. John is acting in scenes in the upcoming Night Court show. There's a new Night Court show coming out? Holy shit. That's insanity. Is that really happening? And your friend tried to make it with the cow. I want to party with you, man. The Stripes quotes are great. I was once doing a stand-up show. Judah and I actually got booked to do stand-up at a bar in like White Plains area. So just above Manhattan, above the Bronx, rather. In like a smaller town up there. There's a little bar, and like somebody wanted to produce a show there, but that doesn't mean that the people that were hanging out at the bar, like that's what they wanted. They didn't, actually. They wanted to sit at the bar and watch the baseball game, which was on for the whole show. And Judah went up first, and they talked the whole time he was on. They weren't listening to him at all. They were paying attention to the game and yelling to each other and all this stuff. And I was sitting there waiting to go up next. There was a guy who went before Judah, the guy who was producing the show, I guess, who like convinced his friend that managed the bar or something. I don't know how it was set up, but it was not great. So while I'm watching them, I go around, I get them to turn the TV off, turn off the game, and everyone's like, boo! I was all upset that the game's, and then they kind of realize there's a guy doing stand-up like right behind him, Judah, like maybe 20 feet away. And so then I get introduced, and nobody is even reacting or noticing at all. And I go up on the stage, and I just sit down and hold the microphone there, and I don't say a word. It literally takes about maybe 4 minutes, 3.5 or 4 minutes before people started to notice, and then eventually they all stopped talking and turned around and were just looking at me like, he's not saying anything. What the fuck? So now it's just totally quiet in the bar. The game has been turned off, and everyone has turned around to see why the comedian isn't talking. And they turn around and they look, and they're looking at me, and I have their full attention. And this big, heavy-set guy with a shaved head gets up and walks out of the room. And I go, kick the shit out of him, Ox. And like 2 or 3 dudes in the room that got the joke could not stop laughing. But everyone else just stared at me. And then I said something about like, okay, so you guys only want to talk while we're talking. As soon as we stop, you don't want to talk either? And I got their attention. We actually had a decent show. But it was crazy. Like they were just ignoring. They were, they didn't want a comedy show. Oh, and here's the show logo, which I haven't put up in a long time. And I'm going to blow it up for the line, kick the shit out of him, Ox, used in real life. I'm going to blow that up for myself. Boo, yeah. You guys crushed the movie quote. You were all over that, as I knew you would be. Show logo again. This is great, you guys. I'm so glad that I decided to come down here and chat with you fucks for a little bit. We've got a few more here. We've got too many more. This is going on forever, this segment. Kobe Bryant Ken Griffey Jr., and Charles Woodson all sported the number 24 in their respective sports, it says. Yeah, they weren't wearing them in sports that they didn't participate in. According to the biblical Gospels, Christ conducted 24 miraculous cures out of a total of 33 miracles. The other ones, he was making wine, baby. He was making wine. In Japanese and Chinese, the year is split into 24 blocks of 15 days. I never knew that. That's really interesting. So like twice as many blocks, and they are half as many days each. God, does that add up to the same number of days? Or is someone gaining or losing a couple of days every year? Oh, I don't know. There are 24 elements that make up the human body. There are also 24 coasts in the human thoracic cage. Now, if you didn't already know that, I mean, I know I'm teaching you guys to suck eggs a little bit, but that one, 24 coasts in the human thoracic cage. Does anybody even know? Jason Robards has arrived. Welcome back to the show. You've been here the whole time, Jason. You were awfully quiet. Is it because you died years ago? I can relax now. Here's a phrase most people have heard. But do you know what it meant and where it came from? Johnny kicked the bucket. Yeah. Came from when Johnny ran up, kicked a bucket, slipped, fell over, and it killed him. Now people just use that as an expression. Johnny Cab. Did you call Johnny Cab? Welcome, Jason Robards. Good to have you back. We make some fantastic wine, and occasionally we make shine as well. No way, Fahey. You guys are living the life out there. Aunt Jemima treatment. But Ben told me to suck eggs. No, I was teaching you. I didn't tell you to. I was going to show you how. The point is that there's no explanation necessary. You put them in your mouth and you suck on them. In terms of wedding anniversaries, 24th is earthenware. That's a good one to make it to. 24 years together, sweetie, so I bought you this tiny clay pot. In the Christian Bible, the number 24 is used a total of 20 times. What? That's ridiculous. In the whole thing? There's a total of 204 episodes of the Kiefer Sutherland series, 24. 204. So 24 episodes of 24. I like that fact. I don't care if it's true or not. The coveted 24-hour Le Mans race runs for, as the name suggests, 24 hours. That is one day. Earthenware. Happy earthenware anniversary, everybody. I'm a little teapot. A person who stays up for 24 hours straight enters a state of almost being drunk. After staying awake for an entire day, your reaction levels are as if your blood alcohol is 0.1%, which is above the drink drive limit. You've just made it clear that, revealed is the word I was looking for, that you are not in this country. Fact site, drink drive. Nobody says bloody drink drive here. You're in the UK, I'm guessing. Ralph Lauren was in the army until he was 24 years old and left to join legendary clothing brand Brooks Brothers. And here we go. This is going to be my favorite one, maybe. I think I already know it. A 24-sided polygon. What do you call it? No. An icosicitera. A 24-sided polygon is called an icosicitera. I thought it was going to be a dodecahedron. But maybe that's only 12. 3 days without sleep will have you tripping balls. Are you speaking from experience, sir? During the Great Depression, people couldn't afford guns. They used rope and noose. Oh, wow, that's a cheery Jason. We don't want facts about suicide, please. Robards, you son of a bitch. Okay, we're getting right down to the good of it here now. Nicopolis was founded in 24 BC by Caesar Augustus. The previously Egyptian city now resides in Greece and lasted for over 7 centuries. 24 BC, Nicopolis. Nicopolis. Polis means city. 24 is a common number in records. It is the age of the oldest cat, the most steins carried by a German barmaid, and the time limit for over 1,000 world records. Right, because in a day. Interesting. I think it's my favorite of the facts thus far. What do you guys think? Were you thinking dodeca? Wait. What were you thinking, Marta? Decadecahedron? It's hard to read that from across the room here. Random Adult Swim commercial type vibes. What's up? Welcome to the program. Just found out about this YouTube/live. Thank you for your time. Goat. Oh, shit. I think you just said something very nice to me, or you're calling me a goat. Thanks, man. Welcome to the show. Mark G. What is up? Howdy. 12-sided, I think, is a decahedron, and I thought a dodecahedron was like a double 12-sided or a 24-sided. Oh, yeah. Rock Mikey, $3. Boom. Thank you, guys. Tips, greatly appreciated. Okay. What do the avocado, rice, and grasshopper have in common? They all have 24 pairs of chromosomes. I'm really starting to wonder about this list. But it's entertaining, at least, isn't it? Well, flippy, dippy, dingy do. All right, Special Ed. I think you nailed it with that one. Big fan of the show. I hate that I caught it 50 minutes in. Oh, well, at least you got here. You know what I mean? At least you got here for some of it. Besides, you could watch this. You could watch the whole thing. It's going to be on YouTube still. And so are all the others. If you missed a bunch, there's a lot of them out there. Okay, how about this one? Harold bought the farm. What? Jason, you seem fixated on death. Is it because you've died? Bought the farm. Yeah, we should look those up. Why don't you look them up and share them with us? Let's do one more of these, man. Cash Cab Drive-By, folks. It's time to drink your drink. Tip your beverage into your face hole. And gulp, gulp, swallow, swallow. Cheers, everybody. Be it beer, be it water, be it whiskey, be it wine. Take a sip of yours and I'll take a sip of mine. Thanks, Mark G. 333. Boom! It's a Cash Cab Drive-By, folks. Cheers to you. And all you put up with and all you go through. Glad to have you here, hanging out with me. Can't believe it's been almost an hour already. All you got to do is get me started about traffic and then forget it. Forget about it. It's really fun to do that. It really is. I know you guys want to feel it. But you can't because it's mine. It's just mine. The number of pairs of chromosomes in an avocado and rice and a grasshopper. Seriously? Portugal is the 24th best country. Okay, that's opinion. And very weird and specific opinion. Who's got countries in that order of what? I mean, come on. So there you have it. That's the end of the list. Okay, that was my favorite one. 24 is a common number in records. It's the age of the oldest cat. This is like a bunch in one. My favorite. It's the age of the oldest cat. The most beer steins carried by a German barmaid. and the time limit for over 1,000 world records. And that's that, folks. That is the number 24. With that, I think we should start the show. This just in from outer space. It's the Big News Show with me, Ben Bailey. Hey, everybody. Yeah, I'm doing the show open at the very end of the show. And Emma's not here. Again, keep in mind, the list here is of things that are not actually on the show. Sorry, I couldn't help it. I had to do it. Cheers, folks. And I got another movie quote for you, and I think it's a great one, a very fun one. It's this. All right, let's get down to brass tacks. How much for the ape? Movie, character, actor. Movie, character, actor. These are the categories that you must fill in correctly in order to win. There is no prize for today's competition. 24 is the number of socks in a dozen pairs. Nice, Con. That's as good as some of the facts on their list. 24 is a number comprised of the number 2 followed by the number 4. Ben rocks all the socks. All of them. That's right. I'm wearing all the fucking socks. Special ed, Ben, where have you been? I've had people say that, how have you been? Oh, where have you been? Like, there's always been one person in my life who would greet me that way. My grandfather, my mom's dad, would say, how you been, Ben? And then I worked with a guy, a fellow limo driver and Vietnam veteran, who would say, hi, Bean, how have you been? And there was always somebody who'd be like, oh, hey, Ben, are you from Dover? Get it, Ben, from Dover? I'm like, yeah, if you left out the from, you might actually be saying, like, making a joke. I rock every single pair of socks. That's what they say about me. You know that, Ben Bailey? He rocks the socks. Sock it to me. Mark G. Nice. Mighty Joe Young. Good guess, Con, but no. Anybody else have a guess for this one? It's a great movie. And I just caught a bit of it the other night, and I was like, oh, that's a great line. Magilla Gorilla. No. How much is that gorilla in the window? Too much is the answer to that. Too much. You can't afford him. Little girl, now go on. Go on about your day. Show logo. It's the Big News Show with me, Ben Bailey. It's not very big, and it's not very new. But I hope you like it. I hope you're having fun. Anybody got another guess? King Kong, nope. Let's get down to brass tacks. How much for the ape? Bacon bits. Any Which Way But Loose? No, but nice. I love just the mention of those movies. Every which way but loose. Any which way that you can. Every which way but loose. Any which way you can. Starring Clint Eastwood and Clyde the orangutan. I'm sorry, orangutan. I recently read an Edgar Allan Poe book story called The Murders in the Rue Morgue. My logo is showing. Oh my God, you're right. Thanks for letting me know. And there's mention of an orangutan and the spelling from back then. It was written in 1840 or something like that. And it was orang, 2 words, O-R-A-N-G and then O-U-T-A-N, orang-utan, which was 2 separate words in whatever language that is that it comes from. I thought that was very interesting. And I also thought it was very interesting how similar the characters and the sort of format of the story, the way things unfold in Murders in the Rue Morgue, how similar that is to most of, or if not all of, the Sherlock Holmes stories, which I have read over and over again because I love them. I think Sir Arthur Conan Doyle read Murders in the Rue Morgue when he was a young man and was heavily influenced by that in his writing of the Sherlock Holmes mysteries. Because Poe wrote the Murders in the Rue Morgue like 50 years before. And I think I might have talked about this, but loved Ruth Gordon. Nice poll with the Ruth Gordon. Kevin Rubel. Boom. Sherlock Holmes is my favorite stuff. Like I have literally read all of it over and over and over again. At one point, I read the entire anthology of Sherlock Holmes, all works of that character, stories, novels, what have you, and then I just read them again, like right away. And then I decided I would read. I was looking for a thing that's called the Moonstone, which Emma actually sought out for me, and is believed to be the original, or one of the originals, if not the original, mystery novel. When looking for that, I typed those words into Google, and the Murders in the Rue Morgue came up. So I read that instead, because I wasn't able to find the Moonstone on a format that I could read on the Kindle. But amazing. Just the similarities are amazing. I was forgetting that I was reading Poe and Murders in the Rue Morgue. It felt like I was reading a Sherlock Holmes story. It's crazy. And when I first read the Holmes stuff when I was in high school, I always had this memory of this crazy story, and I could never find it in the Sherlock Holmes stories and books. And then I reread, not remembering that I read it at all to begin with, Murders in the Rue Morgue, and that's the story that I thought was a Holmes story. So if you guys are Sherlock Holmes fans, read Murders in the Rue Morgue. It's a little tricky to get into it, but you can kind of tune into Poe's writing, and then it's good. And it's man, if you like Holmes, you'll like it. Crazy. But so what that made me realize, or made me think, was like, okay, here Conan Doyle probably, almost definitely, in my opinion, read Murders in the Rue Morgue before he created and wrote. Yes, The Speckled Band is great. Man, that one could give you chills even when you know. So Poe writes Murders in the Rue Morgue in like 1840, around 1840. Doyle writes the first Holmes in like 1891, I think. So approximately 50 years later. It made me wonder what Poe read when he was a kid, right? Because a young Doyle might read Poe and loved it and was influenced by it. What did Poe read when he was a kid? What there's probably some mystery in some other language that was written way before that. I'd love to like delve into that and learn a little history about it. Maybe I will. Yes, Catherine Morton, what's up? It was very intriguing. Excuse me. It was great. I highly recommend it, you guys. But again, it's not Dick and Jane. You're gonna have to like delve in there to really get in and get to it and understand and follow along. You gotta focus. Because Poe, man, I would swear that some of his sentences are run-on sentences. Because when I wrote, and anything I wrote when I was in school, I just had run-on sentences. And sometimes I'll be like, wow, that was one sentence. That was like, it went on forever. It was great, very descriptive, but it just goes on and on. And it's getting late. It's already 10:15, you guys. Holy moly, moly, moly. So I think it's time for... Oh, I didn't tell you guys. Let's get down to brass tacks. How Much for the Ape is from... I should have a drum roll, but I don't. It's from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. The character, Hunter S. Thompson. The actor, Johnny Depp. And now, this. Today, like all other days, is undoubtedly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8 strange holidays. So we dedicate this segment Sunday, to those weirdo holidays. And I'm bringing them up right now. Today is no exception. Apparently, Spinal Bifidus says this is the last day of International Clown Week. How about that? I love it. Oh, I love it. So here's the ones. There's a bunch. So I'm just going to pick a couple that I really like. Psychic Day. Bet you didn't see that coming. No, we're not going to do that one. We're going to do... Oh, it's so silly. It's just so silly. You know what I mean? International Forgiveness Day. We're going to go with that one because I like that. I think it's important that we forgive for your own sake. If you're the person who needs to forgive someone, you need to forgive them for you. You can't rush it, but hopefully you get there. Know what I mean? It is also National Sea Serpent Day, which I guess pretty much everybody knew that already. National Sea Serpent Day, and it is also... There's one more that I like here. Where is it then? It's Aged Care Employee Day in Australia. So if you're a care employee in Australia and you're old, celebrate. Today is for you. No, and here's the other one. Ready? This is a good one. Particularly Preposterous Packaging Day. Particularly Preposterous Packaging Day, National Sea Serpent Day, and International Forgiveness Day. Here we go.
This weekend, one day only, you pick all the people that you hate the most for the things that did to you in your life, and you forgive them because it's International Forgiveness Day. That means even if they live in foreign countries. Now go out in the ocean, look for a sea serpent, pat it on the back, and say, "You're awesome, this is National Sea Serpent Day." Now think of that package that was so hard to open that you tore it open, then cut it open with a knife and used it with a scissors. Now particularly preposterous it was.
I blew it up, I rocked it, and then I blew it up. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I enjoyed that one. I think that was fun. My throat hurts a bit. Rock Mikey, you just tipped me again? Any chance of Tall But True making a comeback? Maybe. It was so fun. You can still listen to it. You can still go back and listen to it. There's 40 of them out there. Check that out. If you guys haven't listened to Tall But True, it's on Audio Boom. Same place this show is. Oh, special ad is Jonesing for the trumpet segment. Particularly preposterous packaging, people. Those holidays were a lot of fun. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. This has been episode 24 of the big new show. I have been Ben Bailey. You know what? We didn't do this. Let's do this real quick. There's always a little time to hit warp speed. Buckle up, folks. Elizabeth Fahey tipping me $1.99. You guys have been very generous of late. Thank you. It are appreciated. Desi wants a trumpet, too. I might have to bring it back. You know, I bought that trumpet new just for that segment. I hadn't played the trumpet since freshman year of high school. And I dropped it one night in this very room, and it landed on the mouthpiece. And I couldn't get the mouthpiece out, so I couldn't close the case. And it was starting to get speckled. Brand new trumpet, a very nice one, too. But I managed to get it out, and I managed to clean it up. So maybe I'll bust it out for you guys one of these times. Rubber chickens, too. All right. You know what I'm hearing? I'm hearing you guys want to do a retro show. So I think maybe we have to do that. I think that might be coming up. Very nice of you guys. So you missed Emma. She will be popping in from time to time as things go. But for now, this is fun, man. I like this. I can do this. And if I'm on the road somewhere, I can just do this from my phone. I can just sit and chat with you guys, too. So for now, this is what we're doing. Emma will be in and out from time to time. And maybe, there seems to be a lot of requests. I will bring back Trumpet and the chickens. They are right in this room. I could do it. But yeah, Laura, I think we're onto something here. Retro show. Yay, retro, she says. With the blue curtains. Well, what would the show be without the blue curtains? How could we even do it? I think maybe retro show coming up, you guys. Wait a minute. Number 25. Next is 25. Next show is going to be the retro show, you guys. Episode 25, retro show. Thank you so much for watching and listening, you guys. I hope you've had a fantastic time. I have. I will pass on your greetings and things to Emma, though she will watch this and hear all that stuff in the morning as well. So yeah, thanks, you guys. Love you guys. No tech guy. That guy's an asshole. I will see you next week. All right? I will not see you.